Hi guys, how are we doing? How is it going? Today being the 2nd of April, we celebrate the World Autism Day. I want to give a little bit information around the day and also make people understand what autism is. So to start with, I'll start with what autism is. I don't know if you say it autism or autism, how you say it, but bear with me here. So autism, also known as autism spectrum disorder, that is ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how a person communicates, interacts socially, and experiences the world. It is called a spectrum because it presents differently in each person. I hope we are together up to that. Yeah, people suffering from, not really suffering, all people living with autism, they don't present the same way. They present very differently. And I'll give a few characteristics of the same. And you realize that some people have difference in communication. For example, there are people who are verbal and others who are non-verbal. They have challenges with social interactions. They also have repetitive behaviors or routines. When you introduce a certain routine or you show them something, they will always want that. And when you introduce a new routine, it becomes unbearable for them and it can be an issue to adopt to that. Also, they have strong or unique interests. They have sensory sensitivities, that is sound, the light, or even the touch. They are sensitive to that. Also, it is very important to note that autism is not a disease or an illness. It is simply a different way of thinking and experiencing the world. People living with autism or autistic people, you can't heal them. It is just a different way of how they think and experience the world, different from how normal or what we refer to as normal experience it. Yeah, I'll give a brief history around the World Autism Awareness Day. And it was established in 2007 by the United Nations and was first observed in 2008. It was created to increase understanding of autism, promote inclusion and acceptance, and also to advocate for the rights of autistic individuals worldwide. This day is meant to focus on awareness, acceptance, inclusion, and also empowerment of people who are autistic. Probably most of us might be asking ourselves, why do we really celebrate the day? I'll give a few points why we celebrate the World Autistic Day. It is usually celebrated to promote understanding. What do I mean by that? Many people still misunderstand autism, and this may lead to stigma. So it is celebrated to help people understand what autism really is and how we can embrace people who are autistic. It is also celebrated to encourage acceptance. Autistic individuals deserve respect, dignity, and equal opportunities as any other person who we regard to as normal. it is also celebrated to advocate for support and access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. Lastly, the day is celebrated we celebrated to celebrate neurodiversity. This is the idea that differences in the brain functioning are neutral and valuable. I am not sure if this is the global theme for 2026, but let's roll with it, yeah? So, the global theme for 2026 is Advancing Neurodiversity and Inclusion, which focuses on recognizing autistic individuals as part of human diversity, creating inclusive schools and workplaces, promoting independence and self-advocacy, and lastly, ensuring no one is left behind. I will present a few points around autism and autistic people. So it is very important to know that autism is not something to fix, but to understand and support. Also, every autistic person has unique strengths and challenges. It is also important to know that inclusion starts with how we treat and accept one another. And on my closing statement is that let us move beyond awareness to acceptance, creating a world where people with autism are not just seen but valued, included, and empowered. Thank you for listening, and share this with someone else. Pass it on to someone else and make them realize that people living with autism, it's only that their mind, or they experience the world differently from how we experience it. When we can always include them in what we are doing and treat them equally. So thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.